Welcome to our afternoon session of energetics. We're going to start with just a basic warm-up for the body, some easy self-massage. Okay, we're just going to go finger by finger on one hand, a little squeezing, pulling. We're going to work out both arms, both legs, and we'll get into some movement. Nothing too intense, just a couple of squeezes here, a couple of squeezes there. Squeeze the wrist, move a little bit. Squeeze the forearm as you go up. Just try to touch all the surfaces of the body. Don't worry about getting too deep into it. Yeah, squeezing the shoulder area around the neck. Great. I'm going to the other hand, pulling each finger. Squeeze the hand a little bit. Maybe the palm also. Good. Squeezing up the forearm. Into the bicep. Good. Up to the neck a little bit. Great. Let's get at the top of the chest. And circles. I use my thumbs up, thumbs in, into the chest. Just along the collarbone. Easy stuff. Good. Let's grab the legs. Give a good spin, kind of shake to the legs. A little bit of rubbing on the skin. Move onto the other leg. Shaking, shaking, shaking. Great. I take both fists now. They go on the sides of my hips. I do circles on the sides of the hips. If you sway from side to side, you'll feel one side gets soft. It's a little bit easier to get inside of it that way. Yep, a little bit further back now. Get the butt also. Good. Moving up to the lower back with the fists. Try to find the lower ribs. Great. The abdomen. Yeah, the sides of the abdomen, twisting across the abdomen. Good. Let's go back, get the inner thighs a little bit with the fist beating. Great. Let's start the shaking. Yeah, get the hands going. A little bit bouncing in the knees, starting to warm up. Adding a little twisting. Good circles with the wrist. Bending in the knees also. Switching directions. Great. Shift the knees from side to side. Place the hands on the knees. Yeah, doing circles with the knees. Good. Switching directions. Good. Kicking out the knees. let the knees extend, flopping out. The same with the elbows, letting the elbows drop out and straighten. We don't need too much force, just dropping the body, letting gravity take care of it. Great, let's start to pick the feet up, bringing the heels up to the butt from side to side. I stay pretty wide apart in the feet, so I actually travel across the space a little bit. Try to feel the knee folding in front of you. Easy business, easy business. Okay, a little bit of walking in place. Go through the ankles. This is mostly for the ankles right now. Try to get the ankles to roll through the toes. Glute stretching 1 foot back. Keep the heel down. Try to make some gentle stretch in the calf. A little bit bouncing in this position, up and down. Good, switch sides. Great. I'll start some very light hopping. Let the arms fling from side to side. Very easy, very gentle. Great. Let's get the arms going out to the sides. Yeah, make the T, and let's start to swivel from here a little bit. Try to breathe at your own pace, move at your own pace. Breathe in as you twist. Breathe out to come back to the middle. Breathe in as you twist. Good, turn the palms up and continue the same with the palms up. Great. Stand in a neutral position. And we're just going to get the feeling for this now. Bend one knee and then the other. Okay, try to see how the pelvis shifts up and down as you bend one knee, then the other. Notice when one knee's bent, the other leg is very straight, and you're mostly supporting the weight on that straight leg. And when you switch, the weight is on the straight leg again. Okay? Get a feel for this so that you really feel like you're standing on the long limb. Okay? Good. Excellent. Good. Let's take this down to the hanging position and make the same movement with the knees now that you're here. Okay? So you're pushing one knee up and the other knee up. Bending and straightening. Good. Shimmy your way back up to the top. Great. Now let's get the head rocking from side to side. Try to feel how heavy the head is. Feel how by the time it hangs to the side, you really have to use effort to bring it back. Good, now we're going to start to let the arms travel down the side of the body where the head's going. Breathing in, out to come up. Let's take a moment to evaluate this movement and see how the breath can really help us here. Notice how when we hang to one side, if you breathe in, the other side of the ribs will open, allowing you to flex farther in that same direction. Now we want to use the opposite to come back up. As we force the air out, this brings us back to the middle. And as we breathe into the other direction, the ribs open, allowing us flexibility and force the air out back to neutral. Try to imagine that the movement back to neutral is caused by the exhalation, not by just simply moving the body back and forth. So we're breathing in to flex, breathing out to come up. Breathing in. Make the breath as forceful as possible on the way out. Great. Let's use this swinging momentum now to get from one side to the other through the bottom position. As I drop the head to one side, I swing across to the other and come back up. And we can go back down in reverse. Both hands going one side, swinging and coming up. Try to feel how this movement is led by the weight of the head. The weight of the head makes me fall to the right, and the head swings through. Keep track of your head throughout this movement. Don't think about the spine. Think about the weight of the head. Try to see if you can use the momentum of the downswing to help you come up through the upswing. Great. Gradually allow yourself to go deeper and deeper, eventually letting the hands brush the floor. Super. Let's start to open up the inner thighs now with these sideways lunges. Try to use the reciprocal movement in the hands, turning one palm up and one palm down to help the body find the correct rotation. Notice how your arms and legs mirror each other. As one is long and out, so is the other. The other is flexed and short. Maintain forceful expirations, attempting to squeeze all of the air out of the body in every exhale. Great. Now let's take the same pattern in the legs, but we'll add an overhead reach with the arms. Breathing in and exhaling forcefully to come back up. Breathing in. Breathing in. Feel the ribs open as you breathe in. Great. Let's resume some light hopping to get our heart rate up again. Good. Trying to add some lateral movement to your hop. Great. Let's shake that out of the legs now. Good. We're going to start to open up the hamstrings with these leg swings. Try not to force anything, but notice that my arms come across the body to help me keep balance. Yeah. Turning towards the leg that's swinging up. I also take this 3 steps in between to help with the momentum. Swing, step, step, step. Swing, step, step, step. Swing, step, 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 swing. Good. Gradually make the kick higher and higher. Good. Now the highest possible for 2 times. One more as high as possible. Great. Let's shake that one out of the legs. Good. Now let's open up the front of the legs with this balance test. Stretching from one side for 2 to 3 seconds, and immediately stepping to the other side. See if you can maintain an easy balance throughout each stance. Good. Let's shake that out of the legs as well. Great. Take the hands with the fingers interlaced behind the head, like we're resting at the beach. Try to develop a rotation pattern from here. Forcing the air out of the body and squeezing the abdominals. Breathing in. Push the air out. Great. Let's shake the shoulders out a little bit now. Up and down, up and down. Bouncing through the knees and letting the shoulders rise up and down. Oh. Great. Now reach down as far as you can, as if trying to touch your feet without bending over. Keep the body upright, the skeleton upright, and simply reach down aggressively with the fingertips. Good. From here, we'll start to make neck circles while we continue to reach downwards with the fingers. This will restrict the amount you can roll your neck, but this is actually a good thing for us, so we can stretch the muscles without bending the spine too far. Remember to keep reaching down while you rotate the head. Good. Let's start to get a little deeper into our lunges now. We'll start with this rotation pattern, going from side to side. Here you want to focus on opening up the hip that is long and extending behind you by dropping the hip in and down. Adjust your feet however you feel comfortable. Again, As we drop the hip down, exhale forcefully. Great, let's shake that out of the legs now. Good, try this tricky balance exercise. It's a very gentle leg swing, but it requires really great coordination throughout the body. The arms help balance the swing of the legs so that the standing leg doesn't have to work as hard. Notice how if you don't use your arms and leave them on your chest, this exercise becomes very demanding for the leg you're standing on. Also another way to help yourself, yeah. Great, let's switch sides. Good, if you can feel comfortable, start to swing the leg up a little bit higher. If you lose balance, just reset. Great, let's revisit the other leg again. This time, bringing the swing up a little bit higher than last time. Good, and one more time on the other side. Fantastic. Let's shake that one out in the lateral direction, moving the knees in and out as fast as we can. Good. In this position, keep the chest up as if you could serve 2 trays out to both sides. You don't have to keep the arms there, but the chest should remain up. Good. Notice how having the knee slightly bent really helps the knees move in and out. With straight knees, it becomes almost impossible. Okay? Now that we're in a bending position, getting the knees to come in and out, this is an ideal position for working on the movement in the heels. Try to alternate stomping with each heel. If you feel it's hard to get weight through the heel to make a pronounced thumping sound, this means the weight is, your hips are shifted too far forwards and the body can't reach the floor. If you shift back slightly, you'll feel the heels can connect easily to the ground. Try to feel the vibration of the heels coming up through the body. Whew. Great. We'll use that same bending, straightening movement that we started with before to repeat the same stretching movement bent over. So we'll lean forward into the fold and alternate which leg is straight. We're also going to add an element of rotation to this. Maybe take a second to watch me do this, and then you can try it yourself. So I'm going down, alternating the legs, and as I do this, I start to rotate. And I rotate towards the knee that's straight. I can feel my back, right? And go across to the other side. Good, try that yourself now. Great, shimmy that back up to neutral. Wow, that was a good one. Okay, let's get these hips twisting now. Notice how this movement is mostly isolated to my pelvis. Not so much happens up here. Try to feel how the muscles of the waist have to work in coordination to get the hips to shift. without the rest of the body being dragged along. Breathing deeply, forcing the air out. Great, let's revisit those stretching lunges that we did earlier. Okay, first establish a comfortable reach with the legs that you can easily slide from side to side. Good, now we'll add the stretching. Start to slow the rhythm down so that you can breathe with it. And as we go, we're going to reach. Force the air out to come back up. Try to use the inhalation to reach. Great. Let's take a light bouncing in the knees to shake off a lot of this tension. Keep the palms and arms open so that the chest automatically feels open. Here we just use a bending in the knees and a bouncing in the body to try to feel the vibration up the spine. Great, using the same bouncing movement, let's take the hands behind the back and reach straight downwards towards the ground. Great. Bouncing and shaking now. Let's get that out of the arms. Great, let's start our full body twist now. The arms long like ropes, swinging and hitting the body. Good. Try to add the breath synchronization that I'm using. I'm taking a small inhale as I twist and a forced exhale to come back to neutral. And that gives me momentum to continue swinging to the other side. So the breathing feels like this. A little bit in, a little bit out, a little bit in, a little bit out, a little bit in, a little bit out. Whew. Great. Let's shake out the knees now. Notice how that exercise can be done very easily or with more effort by forcing the air out. The more we can exhale aggressively, the more benefit we're going to get from strengthening of the core. So any exercise, even if we start to cool down the neck now, doing easy circles, notice what happens when you follow the exhale all the way to the bottom. In fact, perhaps take a second to stand still, feel the muscles on the sides of your neck that are generally fairly tight. Now, complete your exhale by pushing all the air out until the belly becomes firm. See if you can relax the neck on top of a firm belly now. Notice if you try to do that on an inhale, take a very large inhale. Holding the top of the inhale, it makes it hard to relax the muscles of the neck. As we exhale and allow pressure to develop in the abdomen, the neck appears to feel longer and hopefully looser. What's important to understand is when we create the pressure by exhaling deeply in the stomach, this creates a bracing effect in the abdomen and helps the spine relax because it's no longer looking for stability elsewhere. This is why when we do all these exercises, it's really important that we drive the air out and develop this capacity to exhale from below the belly button. That will increase the tone of the abdomen in our daily life so we don't have to think so much about it. Okay? So as we take this easy neck roll in to start to cool down, let's remember to take an easy breath in and a forceful breath out. Try to drive the organs upwards into the body when you breathe out. Great. Let's make some very slow movements with the shoulders now. You can relax the abdomen. Let's bring the shoulders all the way up to the ears, very slowly, feeling the tension rack up in the muscles. Now we'll do the opposite as we descend, feel the muscles loosening and the tension letting go. If you tune into the decrease in tension, the sensation of switching from tense to relaxed, your body can follow that relaxation response. Notice the body relaxing and releasing. Let's do a few more of these together, going up slowly, feeling the tension rack up, keeping the mind's eye in the muscles, slowly releasing, letting go. Up together, feeling the tension grow. Slowly down, feeling the tension dissipate. Do one more on your own. Great. Let's take this easy walking in place as we continue to cool the body down. Let the arms be gentle, swinging side to side. Take time now to try to make your movements as easy as possible. Releasing the jaw, taking your time with the movement. See if you can still feel, even though we're breathing more easily now, that the lower abdomen comes in and up when you exhale. If it is, great. Then you've established some new habits.